Arithmetic of Finance. Understanding the mathematics of money. Simple interest, compound interest, annuities, depreciation and amortization. Lesson overview. Simple interest. Basic interest calculations on borrowed money. Compound interest. Interest calculated on principal plus accumulated interest. Annuities, depreciation and amortization. Regular payments, value reduction, and debt elimination. Simple interest. Definition. Simple interest is the amount of money paid or earned for the use of borrowed money over a fixed period of time. It is always calculated as a percentage of the amount borrowed, using a specific rate and for a particular time period. Formula. Simple interest equals open bracket principal multiplied by rate multiplied by time, close bracket, divided by 100, where I represents the interest, the extra amount paid or earned on the borrowed money. P represents the principal, the original amount of money borrowed or invested. R represents the rate, the percentage charged or earned per year. T represents the time, the period of borrowing or investment, usually measured in years. Example: if you borrow a certain amount of money at a given rate for a specific time, you can find the interest by multiplying the principal by the rate, and by the time, then dividing the result by 100. Simple interest example 1. Problem. Find the simple interest on 6,000 naira for 4 years at 9% per annum. Step 1. Identify the values. Principal equals 6,000 naira. Rate equals 9%. Time equals 4 years. Step 2. Apply the simple interest formula. Interest equals open bracket principal multiplied by rate multiplied by time close bracket divided by 100. In substitution, interest equals open bracket 6,000 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 4 close bracket divided by 100. Step 3. Calculate the result. Interest equals 2,160 naira. Final answer. The simple interest is 2,160 naira. Simple interest example 2. Problem. Find the total amount if simple interest is paid on 150,000 naira at 12% per annum for 3 years. Step 1. Calculate the interest. Interest equals open bracket principal multiplied by rate multiplied by time close bracket divided by 100. Substitute the given values. Interest equals open bracket 150,000 multiplied by 12 multiplied by 3 close bracket divided by 100. Interest equals 54,000 naira. Step 2. Calculate the amount. Amount equals principal plus interest. Substitute the values. Amount equals 150,000 plus 54,000. Amount equals 204,000 naira. Final answer. The total amount after 3 years is 204,000 naira. Simple interest practice problems. Problem 1. Abu Adi saved 8,000 naira with a cooperative society. If simple interest is paid at 4.5% per annum, find the amount which Abu has in the society at the end of 4 years. Problem 2. A woman has 80,000 naira in the term savings account for 3 years. How much interest does she receive at the end of the 3 years if she makes no withdrawal for the whole period? Compound interest. Definition. When the interest is calculated not only on the original amount of money, the principal, but also on the interest that has already been earned, it is called compound interest. This means the amount grows faster, because each year's interest is added to the principal before calculating the next year's interest. Formula. Final amount equals principal multiplied by open bracket 1 plus rate divided by 100 close bracket raised to the power of the number of years. That is, final amount equals principal multiplied by open bracket 1 plus the rate divided by 100 close bracket raised to the power of n. Compound interest formula. Compound interest equals final amount minus principal, where A represents the final amount after the given time, P represents the principal, the initial amount of money invested or borrowed, R represents the rate of interest per annum, N represents the number of years the money is invested or borrowed for. Compound interest example 1. Problem. Calculate the compound interest on 80,000 naira for 2 years at 8.5% per annum. Step 1. Identify the values. Principal equals 80,000 naira. Rate equals 8.5% per annum. Number of years equals 2. Step 2. Apply the compound amount formula. Amount equals principal multiplied by open bracket 1 plus rate, divided by 100 close bracket, raised to the power of number of years. Substitute the given values. Amount equals 80,000 multiplied by open bracket 1 plus 8.5, divided by 100 close bracket raised to the power of 2. That is, amount equals 80,000 multiplied by open bracket 1.085 multiplied by 1.085 close bracket. Step 3. Calculate the result. Amount equals 94,178 naira. Step 4. Find the compound interest. Compound interest equals amount minus principal. Substitute the values. Compound interest equals 94,178 minus 80,000. Final answer. Compound interest equals 14,178 naira. Compound interest example 2. Problem. A woman borrowed 500,000 naira from a lender and pays interest at 12% per annum. If she repaid 100,000 naira at the end of each year, find the amount she owes at the end of 2 years. Year 1. Step 1. Calculate the interest for the first year. Interest equals principal multiplied by rate, multiplied by time, divided by 100. Substitute the values. Interest equals 500,000 multiplied by 12, multiplied by 1, divided by 100. Interest equals 60,000 naira. Step 2. Add the interest to the principal to find the total amount before repayment. Amount equals principal plus interest. Substitute the values. Amount equals 500,000 plus 60,000. Amount equals 560,000 naira. Step 3. Subtract the repayment made at the end of the year. New principal equals amount minus repayment. New principal equals 560,000 minus 100,000. New principal equals 460,000 naira. Year 2. Step 1. Calculate the interest for the second year on the new principal. Interest equals 460,000 multiplied by 12, multiplied by 1, divided by 100. Interest equals 55,200 naira. Step 2. Add this interest to the new principal. Amount equals 460,000 plus 55,200. Amount equals 515,200 naira. Step 3. Subtract the second repayment. New principal equals 515,200 minus 100,000. New principal equals 415,200 naira. Final answer. The woman owes 415,200 naira at the end of 2 years. Compound interest practice problems. Problem 1. The sum of $180 is saved in an account which gives 9.5% per annum compound interest. Find the amount after 2 years, to the nearest cent. Problem 2. The sum of 100,000 naira is invested at 6% per annum compound interest, the interest being added half-yearly. Find the amount after 2 years. Depreciation. Meaning. Depreciation refers to the reduction in the value of an asset over time. This decrease happens because of factors such as wear and tear, age, or becoming outdated. Obsolescence. Calculation method. To find the depreciated value after each period, multiply the current or previous value of the asset by the expression 1 minus the depreciation rate. This means that the asset loses a fixed percentage of its value each year or time period. Formula. New value equals previous value multiplied by open bracket 1 minus the depreciation rate close bracket. That is, new value equals previous value times 1 minus depreciation rate. Depreciation example. Given, a refrigerator costs 55,000 naira, and it depreciates at a rate of 20% per year. Find its value after 3 years. Year 1. Initial value equals 55,000 naira. Depreciation equals 20% of 55,000. Depreciation equals 11,000 naira. Value after year 1 equals 55,000 minus 11,000 equals 44,000 naira. Year 2. Value at start equals 44,000 naira. Depreciation equals 20% of 44,000. Depreciation equals 8,800 naira. Value after year 2 equals 44,000 minus 8,800 equals 35,200 naira. Year 3. Value at start equals 35,200 naira. Depreciation equals 20% of 35,200. Depreciation equals 7,040 naira. Value after year 3 equals 35,200 minus 7,040 equals 28,160 naira. Final value after 3 years equals 28,160 naira. Annuities. An annuity is a series of equal payments made at regular intervals over a specified period of time. Definition: a fixed sum of money paid regularly, typically for the rest of a person's life or for a fixed period. Applications: retirement plans, insurance payments, loan repayments, and investment strategies. Annuity example. Given information. An annuity is a fixed sum of money that is paid or received at regular time intervals. In this case, the payment is 10,000 naira each year for 3 years, at an interest rate of 8% per annum. We need to find the total amount accumulated after 3 years, when interest is added each year. Step 1. Understanding the concept. Each yearly payment earns interest for the number of years it remains invested. The first payment earns interest for 2 years. The second payment earns interest for 1 year. The third payment earns no interest because it is made at the end of the 3rd year. Step 2. Express each payment. The first year's annuity after 2 years equals 10,000, multiplied by open bracket 1.08, close bracket squared. The second year's annuity after 1 year equals 10,000, multiplied by open bracket 1.08, close bracket. The third year's annuity remains 10,000 because no time remains for it to earn interest. Step 3. Add all the amounts. The total amount equals 10,000 plus 10,000, multiplied by 1.08 plus 10,000, multiplied by 1.08 squared. Step 4. Calculate. That is equal to 10,000 plus 10,000, multiplied by 1.08 plus 10,000, multiplied by 1.1664, which equals 10,000 multiplied by open bracket 1 plus 1.08 plus 1.1664, close bracket. That equals 10,000 multiplied by 3.2464. Therefore, the total amount equals 32,464 naira. Final answer. The total amount of the annuity after 3 years is 32,464 naira. Each earlier payment earns more interest because it remains invested for a longer period. This is the key idea behind annuities. Practice problems, depreciation and annuities. Problem 1. A television set costing 25,000 naira depreciates by 15% in the first year, and by 25% in the second year. Find its value after 2 years. Problem 2. How long will it take for prices to double, if the rate of inflation is 25% per annum? General evaluation problems. Compound interest with logarithms. Using logarithm tables, finds the compound interest on 20,000 naira for 4 years at 12% per annum. Annuity calculation. Calculate the amount of an annuity of 20,000 naira payable yearly for 5 years at 12% per annum. These problems test your understanding of both compound interest and annuities using more complex calculations. Assessment questions. Calculate the amount if simple interest is paid yearly at 15% per annum for 4 years on a principal of 550,000 naira. Calculate the compound interest on 18,000 naira for 10 years at 9.5% per annum. Find the amount created by an annuity of 60,000 naira payable yearly for 4 years at 4% interest. Complex assessment problem. A woman insures her life for 3 million naira by paying a premium of 2,000 naira at the beginning of each year for 20 years. After 20 years, the insurance company ends the agreement and gives her a lump sum payment of 50,000 naira. Assume compound interest at 8% per annum. Part A. Calculate the actual value of the premiums paid. Part B. Find the profit made by the company. Parts C. Identify which piece of numerical information is not needed in this problem. Comparing interest types. Simple interest, shared features, compound interest. Understanding the differences between simple and compound interest is crucial for making informed financial decisions. Key takeaways. Simple interest. Interest equals principal multiplied by rate, multiplied by time divided by 100. Interest is calculated only on the original principal amount. Compound interest. Amount equals principal multiplied by open bracket 1 plus rate divided by 100 close bracket raised to the power of the number of years. Interest is calculated on both the principal and any accumulated interest. Annuities. Regular payments that accumulate and earn interest over time. Depreciation. A decrease in the value of an asset over time, calculated as a percentage of its current value.